Moriore te whānau, no mai, hoki mai, welcome on in or welcome back to the 99Dreams podcast. As always, I'm the host, Raori, and I welcome you into our 99Dreams podcast. Today, we've got another amazing guest. I say this every week, but every week we just keep bringing heavy hitters. So whānau, I'd like to introduce another whanaunga. We got Marcus. What up, cuz? How you,
Cheers,
cuzzy? You
cuzzy. How are
good?
you, man? Yeah, good,
Yeah,
brother.
we
Good.
good, we good. Before we get started, cuz, can you do a bit of a call wai Norway? Tell us who you are, where you're from.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Ko Marcus Campbell tōku ingoa. No Oto Taiahau. No Ōtepoti taku kāinga I Nainei. So kia ora, my name's Marcus. I'm from Christchurch, but I whakapapa back up to the old Naki, Ngāti Maruntia Te Awa, and I
Yo.
currently study at Otago University. Yeah.
Mean, wicked. And yeah, like everyone knows, we love getting people who whakapapa back to Taranaki on this podcast. It's what we do. It's what we
It's
do.
home, brother. It's home.
Exactly, cuz we're about to become the number one podcast in Taranaki. We're about to be, man. We're about to be. So I guess we'll start with growing up in Ōtautai. What was that like for you?
So I'm the oldest of two, so I've got a younger brother. We're roughly like 5 years apart, so I was raised by a solo mum. So yeah, it was, I guess, growing up, it was humbling, eh? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a humble beginning, humble growing up. Like, we didn't have a lot, but what we did have, we made the most of, you know what I mean? And like, we were too young anyway, like, for me, like going to Video Easy, getting that, Spider-Man VHS, yeah, brother, yeah, man, that was so cool. I loved that. That was like something I really cherished, and just spending time with mum. So yeah, and looking after my little brother. Yeah, it was just good, eh? Because like nothing. We didn't take anything for granted. Like we didn't ever think like, oh, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. Like we were just happy with what we had and happy with each other. So yeah, it was always good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's those like humble upbringings, eh, where you're always like, oh yeah, now this is mean, but it's only because you don't know any different. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's not until we get to like high school and stuff where people start comparing and they're like, oh, bro, you don't have this or you've never done this.
Yeah,
What the heck? And you're
straight
like,
up.
I don't know.
Straight up, hey, like I remember having the kids at primary school with the light up sketches and stuff, bro. I was having my Spider-Man shoes, bro. I was happy with that, eh? And then like you'd have those like, the kids with the wide broom hats and stuff. I'm like, you look like a dick, bro. You know what I mean? I was having my little, like, you know what I mean? I was happy as. But yeah, like I didn't think like there was a lot of comparison and like evaluation sort of thing. Like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to have this. I want to have that. In high school, but I was like, whatever. Right? Yeah.
Nah, that's me. That means that you got the right mindset. Your mother would have given you the best mindset moving forward to not care too much about what the neighbours got and just
Yeah,
focus on
bro.
your own.
Straight up. Yeah. Nah, she raised me pretty. I like to say she raised me pretty well. So she studied. So she was a nurse. Um, growing up, she was a nurse, but she was also studying medicine at Otago University. Yeah, so I guess watching her going through all that hard yards and all that mahi was quite inspiring, quite motivating to sort of follow in the same footsteps as her, because she was a big like believer in terms of wanting to m- give us a better life. You know what I mean? Because we didn't, obviously, money wise, we didn't have a lot. So I guess for her, she wanted to be able to provide us with whatever we wanted at the time. But yeah, I think watching her sort of grow and just become an absolute geek, you know what I mean, like an absolute nerd out. It was quite motivating, eh? Because like I was pretty cheeky growing up, like if the teacher said don't climb that tree, I'm already up on the tree, you know what I mean? I was just that fella, but um I was always like wanting to be educated and keep learning and learning and learning. So I guess being raised around, I guess, an academic, and my mum was quite um, lit a fire under me. Yeah, you know what I mean, to sort of pursue that sort of excellence. You know what I mean? So yeah.
hard. It is hard, especially in growing up with just having a mother in the household.
Mm.
To have sort of inspiration, but it's that she's given you so much motivation through her own just I'm getting shit done. I don't care,
Yo.
I got two kids, but I get my shit done.
Mm.
I feel like those are the kind of mothers that raise a hell of an amazing kid.
Yeah.
Because my mum, although I had a father in my life, my mum, she was similar. She just was like, fuck it, I'll get shit done.
Yo.
She wanted to become a hairdresser. She worked night fill at a supermarket at Tegel, and then like raised me at the same time. And
Man,
then
bro.
now she owns her own business. So it's like
Cheer.
those are those inspiring moments that you're like, oh shit, I think I can outdo you.
Yo.
I'm gonna outdo you. I'm gonna do my best to
The
outdo you. Just
competition, eh?
yeah.
Yo.
Do you think it's kind of like that healthy competition? You see your mum go so far that you're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna take that to the next level.
Bro, honestly, yeah, like even like exam results, say I've like because she did like similar papers as me, so I'm like trying like, what did you get? I got that. Oh, no, you know what I mean? I'd always try to like I guess not compare, but just sort of like I like she's the standard. I want to exceed it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And honestly, like she set the bar pretty fucking high, but like
yeah,
try
bro.
and exceed it. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
She laid down that whittle, and it
I
looks like you're taking it on.
Yeah, nah. Could have chilled out a little bit though, make it a little bit easier for me, but I'll take it off.
Overachiever, man. Overachiever.
Yeah, straight up, bro. Not fair.
Nah, that's mean. So, obviously, your mum's inspired you to head to university. And how's your university journey going?
Bro, it's been nutty, eh? Because like it hasn't been that sort of, I guess, in terms like as you like, you've been set out the sort of path, like in a way you feel like you're destined for that sort of career, that sort of goal and that course, but knowing me and my life and my luck, there's always something blocking it and blocking it and blocking it. And it makes me sort of have to work around and, jumping up and over and under, you know what I mean? So for me, my first year was nutty, eh? Like I, I just had a lot of adverse and a lot of trouble that sort of occurred. I'm an open book, so I'll share it. But like, so I did a summer school course. It was like for the multi scholarship winners, key to which was I thought was awesome at the time because it it sort of forced Maori students and Pacific students to sort of unite. You know what I mean? And sort of be able to express our cultural similarities and differences and spread cultural awareness, which I thought was awesome. And I do think that was a really awesome thing. But we weren't in the same halls once we left. We were in the same hall at the start and then we left. And then I guess because we got so close in that short amount of time, I guess like, a bit of separation anxiety sort of occurred between all of us. I think we were all like, oh shit, it's just yeah, we just miss each other, and then we're meeting between 100 to 700 new people, and you're trying to remember names, and I'm shit with names, bro. You know what I mean? Like it was rough at the time. I thought that was a pretty big like a pretty big like wow moment, like it's overstimulating, pretty overwhelming, and then my koro got diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. So, and I was, in Dunedin and he's in Christchurch. So, and then obviously I was studying health sciences first year at the start. So, with that competitive sort of environment mixed with, I guess separation anxiety from not being with my friends, not just from Dunedin, but from Christchurch, and then like, and I know my koro's ill. That definitely didn't help, like the mental at all, because I was sort of conflicted because we had COVID isolation, the bubble, and then I wanted to see him so I could like sort of like not quit but like sort of just take a break so I could look after him and help my mum and my nanny out. That was definitely a big thing because that shut down all my focus like from the start, and then yeah, and it was like I did all right, but the thing is like my mental like it was a mad identity crisis. Like I didn't feel like myself, and then you're introduced to this messy drinking culture, and like it's fun, but then you realize like it's not good for me, like I think the old, like now that I guess I'm maturing now, you sort of look back and you're like, wow, you should not have been doing all that, you know what I mean? Like it was a waste of time compared to what you could have been doing, do you know what I mean? Like seizing those opportunities. Yeah. And then I lost one of my best mates to drunk driving literally like a few days before my birthday. And that was like, that was hard because I didn't find out from my mates. I found out on social media. So, and they were like, we didn't want to disturb you whilst you were studying. I'm like, bro, I was gonna find out eventually. So then, pretty much, I like to break it up into like 4 months, so three roughly like phases or stages in the year, and pretty much it was like shit. You know what I mean? And it was just like I couldn't see him because I had exams. I couldn't see my quarter because of COVID, and it's just like I couldn't see my friends because I was in Otago. So it was just like a lot of adversity. And I'm not saying I'm the only one, or I'm not trying to claim a victim because I'm not about that at all. But I think, and to put it lightly, I went through a bit. You know what I mean? Like to put it in a sort of tame way, I think definitely went through quite a fair bit. Just like a complete, just detached from focus. Like and the thing is, like, you can't predict life's sort of curveballs and stuff like that. You can't predict that. You sort of just got to learn how to deal with it. And I guess because of how fast paced uni is, you're not given time to. Do you know what I mean? And then you feel guilty because you're like, oh, my study's going to shit or whatever. So that was my first year. Like, it was just, it was shit. You know what I mean? It was
That's a
just shit.
hectic first year.
Yeah. And that wasn't easy. And like along the way, like I had awesome opportunities. Like I got a dentistry school interview, and bro, that was shit too, bro. I had this mean kai for lunch, and then I got indigestion, and I was burping the entire interview, bro. It was so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
So that went to shit. But it was a good, obviously, like opportunity and stuff. Helping out Te Rōpū Māori, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and just like playing sport for uni was pretty cool. Bit of volleyball, basketball, just like just playing around, rowing, rugby. It was mean. And I think like I've met in my first year, I've met like some lifelong friends and like people who I can trust and people I can talk to about pretty much anything, And I'm a big sort of believer in like trying to learn something new from someone new every day. Do you know what I mean? And that's what the hall was able to provide for me. So like I can learn from the sub wardens or the warden or my mates or the cleaners. Like it was always awesome, mate. Like I really, really valued my hall. I thought it was a main opportunity to just make some good friends and stuff and have some good experiences. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was cool. Because he was mean, and in that regard. And looking like that, you're like, nah, it's pretty shit, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
at least you were able to find, glimmers of hope within a
Yeah.
year of such turmoil.
Pretty much, eh? Like I tried to look at the positives, because I think if you focus on as humans, I feel like we're too focused on the old negatives. Like I think we're sort of like, I don't know, yeah, just we would have like all this massive positives that we could get out of life, but you would only focus on the small negatives, like a comment or, like yeah, it's
Oh,
weird like that, eh?
100%.
Yeah. And then I guess my second year, that's been the most important year of my life thus far. And I know I'm only 20, right? Not as old as you, but but
Go with the digs. Go with the digs.
that's my shit now. But
Hey, you're the first person brave
there
enough.
you go. But yeah, my second year was about healing. So I applied for medicine and I didn't get in, and it was weird, because I wasn't even upset about it, because I felt like at that time, if I had have gotten in, no, I just no, my mental health, just my overall hauora was mun today. It was to the ground. I was in the ground, bro. Do you know what I mean? There was no such thing, and I've always looked after myself, like sport, talking to people, and then first year that all shut down, And I think now I'm studying sport and exercise sciences in my last year. Um, the second year gave me redemption, sort of redeem myself when it came to like suffering through adversity, pushing through those blockades and boundaries, and a massive whakatauki I remember is Iti noa he pito mata, which means from a withered tree a flower blossoms. And for me, that whole whakatauki just has stuck with me throughout second year and then obviously now. So I pretty much, I had to just deal with it, not getting in. And for me, it was quite like, it was a shock. It wasn't a shock, but like it hurt in a way like you knew, you felt like it was going to happen, but like he obviously didn't want it, of course, but I knew, like, I just knew it wasn't meant to be right then. Do you know what I mean? And like, you work hard, but shit doesn't click. Your mental's just munted. And then and pretty much your second year for me was learning from that and learning from those mistakes. And I mean, mistakes, maybe like you could term it that way. I think I would probably say like learnings. Do you know what I mean? Like I learned from those sort of those scenarios and stuff, how to deal with adversity better. Because I think for me, I struggled with I don't know, just talking again, like talking to people regarding like me needing help, like learning how to grieve again. So yeah, pretty much like it was just a whole lot of redemption and like just learnings, eh? So Mariana Te Pou, she's I'm pretty sure the head of the Māori Sciences division at Otago, and she was a rock for me last year and even now because I was accepted into this Te Pai Kotaku Māori Science Leadership course, and we had 3 workshops based on like learning your taha Māori and understanding your why and your path, and it's never like straight and narrow. Do you know what I mean? Like it's always like there's gonna be walls and caves and all sorts of shit that's in the middle of the way, but it's like, can you keep pushing? And for me, there was that, and then Dr. Jeremy Harpeta or Matua Jeremy, Jezza, I like to call him sometimes.
Uncle Jez.
He the amount of respect and admiration I have for him is I can't even put into words. He gave me a chance and believed in me and that I could lead a class. You know what I mean? That I could put other people's issues ahead of mine and come forth and try and unite a class that had there's whakamā all over the gaff, you know what I mean? There was a lot of shyness, a lot of apprehensiveness trying to come together. And I think Specs 206 probably is the most important paper for me because I was able to connect back to my taha Māori and sort of express my teachings to others. And we learned like amazing things like enviro, health, just taha Māori in general, And I think that was the most important thing for me was because I always like to say I had leadership quality, but now I'm able to actually portray that, and like meeting people like yourself, Rāori, Te Kahurangi, like just amazing people, Takaterangi, just amazing people, do you know what I mean? Hinemoa, absolutely, she's awesome. And then Dr. Chanel, Meads now, I believe. Shit. Congratulations to her.
Yes.
And it's just like incredible people I've met along the way. Last year was awesome. And I have to thank Matua Jeremy for that. It was just a overwhelming experience being on that paper. Having a noho marae, it was always something I missed. Being into that, you don't really have that sort of cultural engagement unless you it's gonna sound bad, but like kind of have the time because I feel like you subconsciously because you're at uni, you think you have no time. it's about making time for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, yeah, just volunteering, which was awesome. I loved volunteering back in Christchurch, like helping out small businesses and just helping out Samahinga Kai, that I love that sort of stuff, It was all good, eh? It was mean. Second year was mean. And I guess now, learning from yourself, following your path, an academic, cheeky but academic, you know what I mean? And then, Moto, Jeremy, and my best mate Ferg, he's gonna be a doctor. He's in medicine right now. He's a smart fella. And then just following in those footsteps, and then remembering like I think I had this really bad sort of like I wanted to be my mum in regards like pursuing academic excellence and stuff. I don't want to be compared to her. I want to be you know what I mean? Like parallel, like the same level, if not higher. And I've realised that I've got to do that in my own way. And my mum was like, academics, academics, academics. For me, it's like academics, extracurricular, meeting new people. Do you know what I mean? And that's for me has been like the major learning thus far. So just being able to like do it your own way, see your own path. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's the best thing about Te Koronga as well, is because I've had the likes of Benja, Tukoirangi, Ngahuia, Dr. Terina, Charles to follow behind, but they always tell you that you got to create your own path. You can't be the next Tukoirangi, you can't be the next Benja. You got to be the next you, and you bring your uniqueness and your leadership style to different kaupapa.
Aye, 100%. And that's awesome, mate. Like, when you realise that, it makes it easier. There's not that pressure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, brother. Yeah. That's why I reckon you'll excel in anything you do, because you've now figured it out that it's not about becoming the next, your mum. It's about being you, staying true to you and your values, and smashing it.
Thank you. It's you just gotta wait. Just keep pursuing that, and hopefully get there, Yeah.
No hopes, man. Hard work and you'll get it, cuz. Yeah. No stress. I mean, shit, coupled with all the experience that you've had since, leaving Ōtautahi, coming down to Ōtako and studying down there, it's been a hell of a journey for you. So, accumulating all of that experience in such a short amount of time, you can only exceed and go further.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I don't want to be cocky or anything, but I feel good. I feel laser focused, though. You know what I mean? And that's like, something compared to first year, something I can very proudly say, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah.
Nah, that's me. And it does take time, though. You went through so much in your first year. And that's a lot for anyone to carry, especially being so far away from home and being away from, those usual support networks.
100%.
So to overcome that, to grow throughout the years, to find your passions and really hone that in, it's going to be key for you moving forward, cuz.
Yeah, cheers, man.
You can already see you've got the drive. You can hear it in how you're speaking on the past experiences that you have. You can tell there's pain there, but you've grown from it and you're ready to move forward. So I'm definitely excited for the future for you. It's going to be interesting to see where you end up.
Cheers, bro. You too. Yeah.
That's it, cuz we just gotta. We need another cheeky Māori in Te Koronga. So once you finish up undergrad, man, you want to get in there, get in there.
Yeah, no, hopefully, you got to add a bit of spice to it,
Exactly. You got to keep some of them on their toes.
Yeah, that's the one, brother.
You are the first guest that I've had on this show that's been a part of the new iteration of 206. So everyone that I've interviewed that has come through that paper has done it under Professor Anne-Marie Jackson. And now it's run by Tākuta, old Dr. Jeremy Harpepper. How did you find his one? Yeah, because he is like an amazing academic in his own right.
Oh, it was... I want to be a sponge, just soak up all his teachings, you know what I mean? Like, I think he brought, I didn't obviously know about, AMJ and all that prior because, I'm new to specs and stuff. still a little rookie, you know what I mean? But I'd say like he brought an energy. Do you know that like a different type of energy? It was like a he's gonna hate me if I say this, but like like an old fella type of energy. He's gonna crack me for that, But he taught in a way that was like you sat down and you listened because I'm not gonna tell you the stuff again. Like it was, but in a weird way, it was also like quite welcoming because like we were in our final group straight away, and then he nurtured and he made sure that each person in that final group was looked after by their kaya, and then those kayas can talk to like the class reps and whoever, and then they can talk to him. There's always communication, and he's always every single time I message him, I'm a pest to him, I'm a pest to everybody, but he replies instantly, like it's and he's always willing to help, and it was always like that was very valuable for me, especially as you guys now know, like with everything I was going for at the time and still going through the healing process and the acceptance. That's the main thing, was the acceptance of the facts and what I was going through. He just gave me an opportunity to flourish, and he actually like listened. There's a difference between like offering your opinion, offering advice, but I think you need to listen first, and that is like another learning I obviously learned from him, but also my partner, my girlfriend. So we're in a long distance relationship, so that's the FaceTime calls. Gotta listen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, just he brought something new to compared to all the other papers I was doing. It was like you sit down and lecture, you do the lecture, you ask a few questions, you bugger off. He made sure he stayed behind and he had a corridor with you and asked you how you were going. And I always appreciated that. And it was weird. Like you feel like feel a bit shy and a bit scared to approach lectures because of you know they're so smart. And I'm not saying he isn't, because he is so smart. But like it felt all right. Do you know what I mean? No, like it felt normal to sort of approach him, and yeah, he's just an approachable fella, even though he's huge. He's a big bastard. No, I'm joking. He's a larger than life character. You know what I mean? And yeah, like in my 102 class, Specs 102, I literally wrestled him during the lecture. Like I was pretty much just his test dummy for all his games and stuff. It was ridiculous. Hey? He's got beaten up, but probably consequence of being a pest, but yeah, it was good though. I really really appreciated what he did, especially the Noho Marae. I think he demanded excellence and demanded people to just broaden their horizon, and I think that really came through in Speaks 206. I'm not sure about your years, but and those prior, but like I definitely think he brought something different to the table.
It sounds like the essence of the kaupapa was still there. No matter who was teaching, the essence of the kaupapa remained. It just sounds like he's got that uncle vibe.
Yeah, uncles,
I think that must come from a bit of his coaching and playing days, because he knows how to build relationships in a team.
Yeah, and even in his research as well, when you read about it, like 100%.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Professor Anne-Marie or Dr. Chanella aren't about building teams, but in terms of some of the other academics and other papers that you take outside of any of the Māori ones, they're not really good at building relationships, and they don't have kind of that team environment.
Yeah, and I think that transfers a lot to other sort of, like that skill by learning from him how to build relationships is very transferable, and you can do it to like multiple different disciplines and like just life in general, work, going to work. I would get back and say, "Gee, yep," you know what I mean, and like you're learning how to make friends and how to work within different teams and people who have different sort of like ways of doing things, and that was definitely one thing that I learned as well. Yeah.
Bro, ain't nothing wrong with working at Pack and Save, man. I worked at a bar, washing dishes and waiting tables, man.
Yeah.
Gotta stay humble, man.
Oh, bro,
Gotta
I
stay
love
humble.
working
As
at Pack.
confident as you
I
get,
love
eh?
working at Pack and Save, bro. That's me.
Brotherhood. Hey, can't complain, man. They pay wages. I'm paid, I'm fed, got a roof over the head.
That's the one, bro. That's the one.
Hard out. Yeah, so it's, in academics, it's hard to find people that you can kind of align yourself with, especially when you're finding supervisors and things heading into postgrad. But when you find other academics that you can feel yourself aligned with, or that you value what they value, what they've written about, that's when I think things start to click. Like for me, I couldn't be bothered listening into some of the papers that I was forced to sit in just to get my degree. It wasn't until I got into postgrad where I was like, yeah, see, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
Get to have different corridor, and you actually get to explore what you're interested in, but in research that matters to your communities. Well, in our areas anyway.
Of course, yeah.
Have you thought about like what you would do if you headed into like research postgrad?
I'm actually potentially doing that this summer. Yeah, so I talked to Jezza, and so hopefully I will be doing a bit of research. I remembered, I don't know if you remember from Arai Turu, the Noho Marae that we went to, and Whai Vicky said, make your time, give everything you've got, and make your time, make the most out of the time you have in specs. You know what I mean? And for me, like obviously, I do intend on studying medicine next year, but for me, doing a last little bit of research as my way of giving back to my community, and not just to my community as in the Naki, but Otako. They gave me a platform and a foundation and a chance to redeem myself, and this is my way of giving back. I may not find anything of statistical significance, but I think if I can experience what it's like to do a bit of research, why not? Why couldn't I? It's during summer, bro. I'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, I think, it would be quite I guess, it'd just be like a cool experience, you know what I mean? Like, you're working with people to, discover new things, and see if you're right or if you're wrong, and then talk about it. That's cool. That'd be cool as. I think that'd be so. Yeah.
You'll learn so many different new skills as well as how to interact with different people from different walks of life, because you're forced to get out of your comfort zone. You're forced to discuss your research with other researchers on that same kaupapa. I reckon you'll love it.
Surely, yeah, I reckon so too. I'm a bit of a nerd. I love learning. I just love it. I love it. I get so much shit from my friends, but I'm like, whatever. You should try
it. Hey, exactly. You never know when it'll come in handy, man. You never know.
100%.
And Whai Vicky is right too. You should always treasure and enjoy the time you have in specs, because it goes by so fast. Like, I didn't realize it until I was back home in Taranaki working. I was like, shit, that was on. I missed those days, and now a lot of us that have all left, because I was one of the last ones of my year to leave, and so like just talking with them, reminiscing, they're like, oh, you give it a year and a half, bro, you'll be sweet by then. I was like, is that how long it takes? Bruh.
Yeah. It's weird, Like, I'm in my last year specs. You know what I mean? I'm like, where did last year go? You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Bro, it comes around so quick, and next minute you're walking across that stage and you've finished, and it's like, what the heck? Where did all those years go?
I know, I'm scared, It just feels nuts. It feels like time's gone by.
It will continue to keep flying by, but you just gotta have fun with it. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the opportunities.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
So what's this year looking like for you as you're in your final year of specs? How are you gonna round out this year?
Oh, just round it out good, You know what I mean? Top grades, we're going for it again. Gonna intend to get it again. Gonna get it again. Nah, pretty much. It's just I wanna, as Whai Vicky said, just make the most of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, that time goes by so fast. So, whether that's class repping or, I intend to be a tuakana at 206 next for this year. So help out the youngins, the tauira and all that sort of stuff. I think that'd be mean, and help out with marking and stuff. Yeah, I think that would be a cool way to contribute back to that paper. Just sort of just give out my sort of like teachings and mentorship. I'm not that much of a mentor, but like just a little learners, like you know what I mean. Yeah, I gotta be like same age as you to be a mentor. I feel you're pretty old, bro. But oh, not that one. But yeah, I think like that sort of stuff, like just giving back. Honestly, I just want to give back before I don't have as much time to dedicate to that. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like medicine sounds. Oh, I'm just excited for it. I just want it. And finding out your why and why you want to do it, why you want to pursue that. You know what I mean? I think is like something I'm craving. So I think like this year, it's just healing. Matua Jeremy taught me the Sarah model. So it's sort of like the shock of hearing bad news. And then, Sarah model, so shock, anger, you're rejecting it. So, like you don't believe it. Acceptance and healing. I'm in that healing stage right now. Acceptance was last year, you know what I mean? And then healing, because it's going to sound cheesy, but like kind of cringe, but I want to heal so that I can heal others, you know what I mean? Like, I love being able to help people in terms of, just anything really. But I think for me, everything that I've gone through thus far has led me to this point. When you feel it like right now, it's like, that's how I'm like, and that's pretty much I'm just trying to capitalize on the time I do have available for hopefully getting into that stage, in my life where I can say, I look back on my last, 3 years, and you're like, I went through all that and I'm here. Like, I don't know if most people could say that, you know what I mean? And I think that's quite something I'm craving. It's more like to be able to look back and say, you did it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, fingers and toes crossed. You know what I mean? But yeah,
you'll get there. Just got to give it some time, man. Give it some time. 100%. Mid is gonna be tough. I've got a mate who finished it, and I've got another mate who's in it at the moment, and he used to be the heartiest, like kick-ons on it on a weekday. Now he's like, shit, I'm in class by 7. Dude never used to be up until midday. So
yeah, bro.
It's gonna be hectic, cuz I do not envy you one bit.
I'm craving it, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, as long as you enjoy it, that's the main thing. I think that's the key message. Most of the people that have come on to this show have said in terms of like their entire university career is that they just want to make sure that they had enjoyed their time there. Yes, they need to get their degree, but also just making memories and living in some of the moments rather than chasing one goal onto the next.
Yeah, bro, that's so cool though. Being able to say that I live in the moment, and bro, I love that. That's so cool.
So that's, I think, if any advice we could give you, cuz, is just live in the moment, keep living in the moment, and whatever happens from here on out. Just roll with it.
Yeah, bro, that's the one. That's the one.
Now we're at that time of the show where we dip into some of our usual questions. Some of our frequent listeners will know about that. But before we do, Whānau, we've got 99Dreams hoodies available on the website. If you want to go check them out, it's 99dreams.co.nz. Go check out our website. You don't even have to buy anything. Just go interact with the website. My main header bar is in Te Reo Māori, so if you're not happy with that, I'm sorry. I'm working on getting an interactive translation without me actually having to remove Te Reo Māori from my website. It's going to stay that way until I can get it coded. But until then, if you want a hoodie, go check it out at 99dreams.co.nz. Whānau. Back to the show. Sorry, man, I gotta do that quick plug. It's gotta
Of course.
try and get some more interaction with the website. So yeah, we're at that part of the show where we dive into some of our regular questions, and the first one being, if you could sit across from yourself from first year going into the start of first year, if you could say anything, what would you say?
Well, first go. You know what I mean? But the first thing I would say I think I would say it's time. It's all right to take some time off. Do you know what I mean? And like, really, like you've got time, bro. You know, like, you could if you can't. Is that I've got her name, but she's like, if you can't do it in your 20s, you can do it in your 30s, and so on and so forth. You know, like you've got time. You know what I mean? And it's like really sort of like step back from it. Just take a step back, take a breath, and just think like, what should I be focusing on right now? Is the studies more important than my health? You know, like you got to keep shit in perspective. Is what my mum says. You know what I mean? Keep shit in perspective. And yeah, I'd say like that. It's right to take some time off. You know, yeah.
Nice, and you're so true though. Like, it's fine to take time off. Nothing you do today is going to affect you tomorrow in the long run. It's like an accumulation of continuously doing things that is going to affect the long term. So it's okay to take a break. You've got, like you said, you've got plenty of time. Gary Vee always says it's perfect to start a business if you're 45, 50, because you've got time. Modern medicine allows you to have more time than what some of our ancestors had. So you're so right. You've got plenty of time, and you don't need to rush into anything. Take time, take a break, enjoy life, because it ain't long, and enjoy your body while it's still able to move, and you're not waking up in aches and pains and all that kind of shit. So if that's in your 20s and you want to live a little, get out and do it. Life's too short to sit around and be like, I wish I did this. I wish I did that.
At least, I just don't want to regret anything. I'd rather sort of like say, I did it, but yes, I may have cocked up here and there, but at least I tried. You know what I mean? And I think that's a thing, yeah.
Rather try and fail than like never try at all and just be left wondering, like, bro, what if I did that?
Straight up, you know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
So then, on the flip side of that, if you're sitting across, not even sitting across. So on the flip side of that, in 5 to 10 years, when you look back on this episode, on this podcast, whether it be on YouTube or on Spotify or Apple, and you want to tell your future self or ask your future self something, what would you say?
As I ask my future self. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a deep question,
100%.
I think I would ask, what's it like up there? You know what I mean? Like, what's it like up on the top? You know what I mean, bro? Because that's what I'm aiming for. Like, I've got big dreams and big aspirations, The amount of dreams are 99, brother. 99 dreams. Yeah. But,
99 left to go.
Yeah, that's the one, bro. But, yeah, no, how's it like up there? You know what I mean? Like, because that's what I pursue, what I'm pursuing, And, yeah, I think I'll definitely ask that. Like, as well, if I had to even ask two questions, I'd say, like, obviously, what's it like up there? But, like, was it all worth it? Do you know what I mean? Like, was going through and tripping over and getting back up, was it worth it? Like, do you feel like it was all worth it? I know what he'd say. He'd say, yeah, bro. You know what I mean? 100%. 100%.
No, that's mean. And, like, it's so, like, interesting to hear other people's thoughts on how they hope that their life turns out. It's going to be so cool to see their reflections when they come back to this, to see, how much your own thinking has changed or remained the same, and to see everyone going, yes, that's me, we made it to the top. Or for some of the others that have come on to the show, they're like, yes, we are happy, we've made it, we've got this and that we said we we're going to get, because that's what this is all about, is sharing your passions and sharing your wants for yourself in an open forum. Just because so often we're all reduced to not sharing what we believe in and what we hold true. So that's why I love this show, is that you're able to come on and be like, this is what I believe in, this is what I think is, important to me. We get to share that in this platform. So it's so interesting to hear what other people, have in store for them.
I love hearing that, like just seeing how much they like the passion in their voice, I love that, it's mean.
Hard. And no one can ever tell you that you're not going to crack what you want to do, because like no one's stopping me, man.
Exactly,
And so now we come to the dream deposit box. So on this box here, it says, always remember when they doubted you. It's a Trae Young sneaker from Adidas. Inside, we've got everyone that has been on the show has shared a dream with us. The pink ones are from all the guests, and these greenish ones are from me. So we've had people come on the show. Someone wants to, make their own clothing brand. Some people want, to buy a house, some land for their whānau. Some people want to be a co-host on the show. Te Kahurani, she wants to be a mama. Barry Bear King on TikTok, he just wants to make it to 30. Bro, yeah, he's seen a lot in his life, so he's like, if I can make 30, that's a dream come true to me. So I'm like, bro, that's so powerful.
That dude's a menace, He's a menace, straight up, he's nuts.
He's crazy, man, but he's a good dude. Next time the next time I'm in Christchurch, I'm supposed to go catch up with him, so we'll be linking up.
Bro, that's tough.
So what are some of your dreams, cuz, that I can chuck on here and put them in this box? So when we start achieving these dreams, behind me I've kind of got a blank wall that I want to one day start filling up with people's dreams as they achieve them. I need to hang up some of these jerseys up the back there, because it's, one of the dreams that I had for this kaupapa. Yeah. So, yeah, what are some of your dreams, Cuzzy?
I guess, I have a dream that I want to have a family, you know what I mean? Like sort of be that dad that I kind of didn't have growing up. Do you know what I mean? So be that male role model.
Mean.
Oh, that's so deep, I guess, studying medicine. That's a dream I've had since I was a kid, so definitely that. Wow. Giving back to Specs. Yeah, definitely want to be able to give back to them. And I'll do one more. I guess, I mean, my goal career is to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, so a heart surgeon. So just become a heart surgeon. Yeah, that'd be mine. Those would be my four.
Thank God you provided like its translation, because I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, my mates are like, what? What's that mean?
Yeah, I'm like, how do I spell that? No, those are some amazing dreams there, cuz. I can't wait to hang some of those up once you achieve them. Yeah. Definitely think your Give Back to Specs will be able to stick that somewhere this year.
Yeah, bro. And hopefully, that medicine one will be up there at the start of next year. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Can finally... Yeah. Shit, you might be one of the first to tick off some of these dreams.
I will be, bro. I will be.
100%. Love to see it. Send me some photos of proof. Send me your enrollment next year. Yeah. You into med.
I will, mate. I will.
And then I'll stick that somewhere up there behind us.
Yo.
Got to celebrate greatness. Got to celebrate the wins. So here, before we leave, before we start wrapping up, is there any advice you would love to give to our listeners? Any wisdom that you'd like to impart upon the 99Dreams whānau?
Oh, first I just want to say thank you, for having me on here and being able to do this. I think your dreams and ambitions are something I look forward to seeing as well, brother. And obviously, all the listeners at home, I wish you guys all the best. I guess one thing, if I had to, would be it's all good to just take a break and just, being able to sort of like just restart. Do you know what I mean? Like rebuild yourself. I think being able to spot and find ways where you can improve, because there's no such thing as like, you can always progress, you can always learn. And I think that is an essential part in sort of rebuilding yourself. So I'd say like, it's August to restart. You've got so much time, bro. You know what I mean? Like the brothers, the sisters, the cousins out there. Like you've got so much time, and you can rebuild yourself. You can restart. And yeah, it's daunting, and it's an intimidating sort of process, but just with determination, and sticking true to yourself, keeping those morals and values, and just being a kind person, that rebuilding, sort of restarting sort of phase in your life, it'll be easy. It'll be much easier if you can, be true to yourself, be kind, show love, and yeah.
Harder. Being kind it's free to do. It's easy to do, and you never know like how that could change someone's life just by being kind to them.
100%.
So
Yeah, and I think I guess I try to do that. I sort of set myself a goal, having 5 new interactions every day. Whether it's just saying hello to someone, opening the door, asking how their day was, whatever it is, like you can learn so much from just a small little act of kindness. And it's, as you said, it's free. Like why would you try and intentionally ruin someone, or potentially ruin someone's day? Like where you can actually uplift them and make them, feel better about themselves. I think that's awesome, man. Yeah.
Shit, yeah. I'd rather be remembered for the good you do rather than the shit you do.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You never know. That person that you just tore down, they might be the next CEO of Google, man. You never know who you're going to run into out there.
Eating your words. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Brotherhood. So it's free to be kind, Fado. It's also free to be mean, but it's a lot less stressful if you're kind, because then you don't have to think about that shitty interaction you just had with someone. And if you're one of those pricks that aren't, remorseful about some of their actions and words that they say, well, you're a prick.
Yeah, honestly, you're thinking it ain't. You know what I mean?
Actuals.
And one last message, 99Dreams clothing. Yo, go over, buy some stuff, have a look. Cheers.
Hey, there we go. 99dreams.co.nz. Whānau, go check it out. Well, some advice we'll give to you as our parting gift to say thanks for you coming on the show. You mentioned you want to be at the top. There's one quote I always remember, is that the lion at the bottom of the mountain is always hungrier than the lion at the top of the mountain. So always look for another mountain to climb once you reach the next. Never settle for stagnant.
No, thank
Keep
you, bro.
climbing.
That's mean, bro. That was actual sick. Thank you so much.
All good, cuzzy, all good. So yeah, take that on. Once you get to the top of your first maunga, look for the next and just keep climbing, because you'll get to the top of all of them, and you'll be able to look back on so many that you've come through.
Thank you. Yeah, I intend to. I don't like to settle. Just keep going. Yeah.
Nah, me, my cousin. Well, thank you so much for joining us and imparting your wisdom on our 99 Dreams whānau. You're so young, but already you've accumulated so much knowledge and experience through, heartbreak as well as, healing. So I wish you well on your healing journey, my cousin. I know it'll get better, and you just keep grinding and keep becoming the best version of you that you can be, my man.
Cheers, bro. I really appreciate that, and obviously I've got you to acknowledge for that as well. You've done so much, bro.
That's all you, bro. That's all you. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate your time so much. And to the 99 Dreams whānau, take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Mori ore te whānau.